By the late medieval age, the world stood divided between East and West.
At the center of this division lay lands sacred to many, places of worship, trade, and immense strategic value. The Byzantine Empire weakened, Islamic states divided, and Europe searched for purpose and unity. Then came a call, one that promised salvation, honor, and destiny to those who answered.
What followed would become known as the Crusades, a series of campaigns that reshaped history for centuries.
Across Europe, the call spread rapidly. Kings, nobles, and common people prepared.
For many, the crusade promised spiritual reward, honor, and a sense of destiny. Before organized armies formed, large groups of ordinary people moved east, driven by belief rather than preparation.
Lacking leadership and supplies, these early groups faced hunger, confusion, and loss. Soon after, trained nobles and knights organized disciplined forces for the true campaign.
The Crusader armies crossed into Byzantine territory, where cooperation and tension existed side by side. The Byzantine Empire welcomed assistance, but feared losing control of its lands. Crusader leaders pledged to return captured territories, though trust remained fragile.
With preparations complete, the armies marched into unfamiliar regions. Ahead lay fortified cities, determined defenders, and challenges no one fully understood. The march east soon met its first true challenge: fortified cities guarding vital routes.
Crusader leaders realized that victory would depend on patience, planning, and supply, not speed alone.
Long sieges tested endurance, as shortages and exhaustion challenged morale. Persistence, rather than force alone, began to open paths forward. Each step forward carried a cost, ugly, in lives, resources, and resolve.
Crusaders adapted to new climates, tactics, and unfamiliar lands.
Local guides and shifting alliances shaped the journey in unexpected ways. As Jerusalem drew closer, the path grew narrower, both physically and emotionally.
Belief sustained the march, even as exhaustion and doubt followed every step.
After years of struggle, the goal finally appeared. Jerusalem stood before them.
The final march toward Jerusalem was slow and deliberate, calmed, every step heavy with meaning.
Jerusalem rose before them, ancient, sacred, and fiercely defended.
Surrounding the city, the Middle Eastern female leaders prepared for a siege that would decide everything.
Days passed slowly as both sides waited, watching, enduring. Eventually, resistance weakened. The long pressure began to tell.
Jerusalem fell, marking a moment that would echo across centuries.
Control of the city reshaped power, faith, and politics across regions.
Word of the victory traveled quickly, inspiring celebration and concern alike. Yet triumph was fragile. Holding the city would prove as difficult as taking it. The capture of Jerusalem planted seeds for conflicts that would shape the future.
Capturing Jerusalem was only the beginning. Holding it would test every promise made. New Crusader states emerged, reshaping the political map of the Eastern Mediterranean. These new powers stood surrounded by rivals, alliances fragile and uncertain.
Religion and rule became deeply intertwined, shaping laws, loyalty, and identity.
Daily life unfolded under new rulers, marked by adaptation and survival.
The fall of Jerusalem did not end conflict. It called for response. Empires, kingdoms, and leaders watched closely, preparing for what would come next. The Crusades revealed the cost of belief when mixed with power.
These events redirected history, binding East and West in centuries of rivalry.
The Crusades were not an ending. They were a beginning. Though battles ended, the legacy of the Crusades remained unfinished.
The Crusades tied East and West together through conflict, trade, and shared history. Ideas, knowledge, and customs traveled alongside armies.
Stories of the Crusades passed from generation to generation, shaping identity.
With time, perspectives evolved. History judged events more carefully. The Crusades revealed how belief and power can reshape the world, for better or worse. Borders shifted, alliances reformed, and empires learned new realities. Even today, echoes of the Crusades remain in politics, culture, and memory.
Remembering the past allows humanity to understand its mistakes and triumphs.
The Crusades ended founder, but their story lives on, written into the fabric of history.